Hey Capricorn, it's Lisa with Heart of Inspiration. Welcome home, light workers. And I'm going to do your July mid end of the month 2020 reading right now. So we're just going to kind of check in from now to the end of July what we should be, what the energy is saying, what spirit's saying right now, right? So I'm not going to keep you long. This is going to be a short video just to do a quick check-in because we'll be doing August here very, very shortly. Thank you for liking, subscribing, and sharing. Okay, so let's get to the tarot. Now, what I'm using for the oracle this go around is the Sacred Destiny Oracle cards. Okay, so we are gonna pull 3 of those, and hopefully you guys get to see this soon. Oh, patience is a virtue. Hang on. Fulfillment. Oh, I love it. One more. And power. Patience, fulfillment, and power. Now this is for Capricorn, Sun, Moon, and Rising. Listen, oh my gosh. Patience. Yes, patience is a virtue. Yes, it is. And it feels like you've had to exercise a lot of it lately, haven't you? And you're probably a little tired of exercising that patience, Capricorn. It seems like while there's been a number of things that have gone right, there have been a number of things that haven't gone quite as right, haven't gone quite as well as they could have. And because of that, it's weighing on you, right? Like, you're like, when is everything finally just going to mesh? When is everything finally going to work? When are all my hopes and dreams and aspirations, when are those finally going to come to the forefront and finally, come into this area of fulfillment? Because you've seen and you've received some gifts. You've seen and received some of the manifestation. And you've come a very, very long way. And while it seems like it's probably been a long time, it's really only been a pretty short time that you've been going through this process. So because it's been such a short time that you've been going through this process, in reality, but it feels long. And it feels long because you've been going through so much transformation, so many changes. You've had to look at what really does fulfill you. You've had to not be too scared to take that next leap. You've had some relationships that were maybe really, really super strong before, and maybe they're not any longer. And you know what? If that's the case, we're all evolving. That's the thing we have to remember. This is a constant and consistent evolutionary process. And in the evolutionary process, unfortunately, we don't get to keep everybody with us on the whole journey. Sometimes we need to grow and move forward, or they need to grow and move, whatever the case is, but we're just not, the season is over. And while you understand like the ending of seasons and all of that, it is still sometimes a bit difficult for you to let some of that go because you like the stability as well. And you get a group of people together and then it's like, oh my gosh, where are my friends, or where are these people that were once close? But sometimes, there's forks in the road on the journey, and then you guys come together. But when maybe you don't, or maybe you kind of come alongside in a distant, hey. But this has been a time for you to have patience with yourself as you are going on this road to fulfillment. This has been a time for you to learn. This has been a time for you to grow. And now this is a time for that level of independence that you very much like. And we all need and we should all want. But as we're embarking on that level of independence, we're now coming into our own power. You see that as we have little bits and pieces that get fulfilled, as there are things that maybe didn't work out quite the way we had planned them to. However, it's still working in our favor. It just didn't happen quite the same way. We are learning to trust ourselves and be patient with ourselves, to trust ourselves and be patient with what we hear, to trust ourselves and trust the process. That, to me, is probably the most difficult for any of the cardinal signs, is to trust the process completely and not try to exert the control over it because we want it to happen right now. And we want it to happen the way we want it to happen because that's the only way we can see it, right? I'm going to pull a few tarot as well. Yeah, 3 of Coins, patience. This is solar plexus chakra. These are the chakra wisdom tarot cards. So solar plexus chakra there. You've had partners that have come and go, and I think this is a time for you to learn to be your own best friend. Right? To be your own partner. And when I see that 3 of Coins, and I'm looking at it from an esoteric or metaphysical or spiritual point of view, I look at it as it's time for the partnership to happen between yourself, your third dimensional self, your higher self, and source. Could be your third dimensional self, your higher self, and your angels. Your third dimensional self, your higher self, and your spirit guides, your ancestors. You can put whatever you want to in there. It could be your third dimensional body, your third dimensional mind, or your ego, and your higher self. None of those include another individual. So it's time for you to become self-partnered, but partnering with spirit instead of partnering with self or other human beings always. It's time for you to walk in that power because that's where you get the most power. That's becoming self-partnered. Okay? That is becoming self-partnered. For fulfillment, we have the 2 of Swords. There's a decision you have to make. That's sacral chakra that's very sacral chakra. There's a decision you have to make. Are you going to decide to walk in the fulfillment? Are you going to decide to be fulfilled? Are you going to decide to be happy with the process and go with the flow with the process? Are you going to decide to do what's necessary temporarily for long-term gain and stick with it and not change course? Now that you've figured out a course, because we're self-partnered and we're listening and we have patience with ourselves, and we have patience with the manifestation process, are you now going to make the decision to stay in and see it to its fruition? That is sacral chakra energy. That's your birthing creative energy. Are you going to be old enough to choose to be creative enough, right, to win the race, to gain the fulfillment that you've been seeking? And wow, boy, oh boy, there is justice, which that is going to be third eye and throat. Are you going to choose justice for yourself? Are you going to choose the balance? Are you going to walk in your power and balance the scales? Because that last one is power. You are unleashing your own individual power. Okay? Are you going to choose to do that or not? The choice is up to you. Are you going to choose to finally find balance and stop walking in imbalance? Because the imbalance for some of you, Capricorn, Sun, Moon, and Rising, is more comfortable than the balance. Owning your own stuff as well, and what part you played in how all of this went down, and how you got here is part of having patience with yourself, right? It's part of gaining the fulfillment of, hey, you know what? Yeah, I may have misstepped here, but I've gained so much over here. Yeah, I might have not been so cool in that relationship there, but I've gained knowledge of self and I've gained the knowledge of who I should be in relationship with. And the next time I won't do the same thing. The next time I'll interact with people from a place of empowerment and not a place of unfulfillment, from a place of fulfillment, wholeness, happiness, peace, love, instead of an unfulfilled place that then creates these really icky kind of codependent relationships. It creates these entanglements. And so you're going to figure out this time that you don't get entangled. And I think that sometimes also, Capricorn, you might not realize that by taking control or seeking to have complete control over every aspect of a situation is in fact having no control over that situation and creating the entanglement and the codependency. Because when you have to have third dimensional control, like your mind is like, oh, I'm going to do this, 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 and this. It's all going to work out. I don't need to like consult source, consult spirit. I know I heard back in the back of my head, don't do it. But I'm not going to, right? So, but that's also coming from a place of unfulfillment. That's also coming from a place of I need to be fulfilled by exercising the control and controlling the outcome of the situation rather than deciding to allow the situation to play out as it should. When you finally decide to act in faith and you finally decide to have love, patience, another word, or sometimes the word patience in the King James version is translated as love. And in fact, in 1 Corinthians 13, the love chapter, love is patient, love is kind. And you see Gemini back there. Love is patient, love is kind. So loving yourself and exuding and operating in love is exuding in patience. And seeking to control the entire situation so that it goes exactly the way you want when you want is not exuding patience. It's not loving yourself. So love yourself to allow yourself to grow. Make the decision that this is what we're doing, right? Make the decision that you're going to be in partnership at all times with the ethers, the higher realms, so that you can come into a true area of fulfillment of yourself, within yourself. And that's when you end up walking in power and having balance. Thank you so much for being here. I so very much appreciate it. That's powerful. I like that message. I know that's my rising sign, so I'm going to take that with me. I just appreciate your love and your support. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, and feel free to share this video with all of your friends. Hit that bell too, so you know when I put up new content and when I go live. Peace, love, blessings, and joy be unto you today, tomorrow, and for all eternity. I love you so much. Namaste. Bye-bye. Thank you.